So I pushed it away, and I continued my lifestyle. I went out, and the next month, I got a DWI. And I didn't get a DWI in the sense that you would normally think where I get pulled over. I actually was in a car accident, and I was hit by another driver, and I actually saved the other driver out of her car, and she had been drinking the night as well. But I, unfortunately, was over the legal limit, and I was taken and arrested, and the girl was taken to the hospital. Is what it is. But I was arrested in front of my brother and my dad, and that hurt me a lot. Hurt me really bad, because my little brother that I'm supposed to be standing up for is standing right there, and I'm being handcuffed and read my rights in front of my brother and my dad. And I'm taken down to the police department. I'm processed. I have a mugshot. My parents have to come bail me out, and now I'm $11,000 in debt. So this is now my lowest of low. I've gone from what I just told you to this, and what do? I just get angry, and I just say, Noah, you're better than this. This is not what you're made for. You're meant to be great. You are meant to change the world. You are meant to entertain. Like, this is not you. Push it off. Come on, man. You're strong. So I do. You can't push away debt. It's always going to be there until you pay it off. So I have that in my brain. I don't have my new car anymore because it got wrecked. So I'm driving my parents' car. I feel like a loser. I'm working a lot, but I have no money because I'm paying out the lawyers. And so I get an email from a guy in October of 2019. And he says, hey man, like, I see your videos on Facebook. I did some Facebook Lives about some motivational things at the time. And he's like, yeah, I really like your look and everything like that. Would you like to do some modeling for me? And I was like, yes, I want to do some modeling for you. And so he talked to me about it, and he's like, this is what you're going to wear. This is some underwear, and we'll do some fitness, and you'll pose, and, blah, blah, blah. I used to work for, I think I may have been CBS. It may have been someone else, photographer at one point, but I looked him up. He was legit. And so I was like, okay. So I show up at the man's house. He goes up to adjust me in the photo, and he rubs up against me in a sexual way, and it was apparent that he was erect. And he smelled me, and I was like, hey, like, that's not cool, dude. Like, no, like, back off. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm just, you're just such a beautiful man and all these things. And I'm like, okay, but, like, I'm just here to take pictures. And he's like, well, if you, let me rub you down with some oils and, take pictures of you, I can make this happen for you. And I'm like, no, man. And he's like, well, you're not going to get paid then. And he's like, this is what I hired you for. I'm like, no, you didn't. And after some negotiating and just, I don't know what was going through my brain, I let him put the oil on me. And I don't know what was happening in the moment. And while I, like, lay on the bed and I'm doing, like, a pose, and he starts to rub my leg, and I'm like, hey, man. He's like, oh, no, it's okay. And he starts to touch my genitals. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid, but not afraid. I'm embarrassed, but not embarrassed. I feel like just an object at this point, so why don't I just let it happen, But I'm not drunk, I'm not intoxicated. I'm just, like, I don't understand what's going on. And I'm like, hey, man, like, you gotta stop. He started touching himself, and I'm like, I can't do this. I made him give me the money, and I left. And I felt like I let this happen to me again, but I wasn't even drugged this time, and I just didn't know, like, what to do, and I felt, again, disappointed. I felt very just, like, scared. I felt like I am putting myself out there for no reason, and now I'm violated, and lost, honestly, just lost. Noah's lost. Noah's not Noah. So, what do? I'm tough. I push past it. This thing happened. Whatever. I'm better. I'm bigger. I'm stronger. I'm a leader. I'm going to make this better because I am meant to be great. And that's what I did. And then a couple weeks later, I had a friend in the gym. He had a manager for just some modeling, he said. And so this manager contacted me, said, I have to look. Gave me all the talked for a couple hours. He says, hey, man, I want to sign you for a 6-month contract. And I'm like, okay. So, like, we do, like, fitness modeling, underwear modeling, because I had seen my friend's pictures. And he's like, yeah, dude, that's what you're going to do. So we signed it. 2 months goes by, and nothing happens, right? just don't get any offers, I don't get any work. And so I give him a call. He's like, hey man, like I don't know what's going on really, but like, you know, maybe if you opened up a little bit more as far as with, you know, things that you would do, you'll be able to get some more jobs. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, have you ever thought of like doing, you know, some nude things, or, you know, more adult, risque? And I'm like, no, not really. And he's like, well, if you do nude still photography, you can sell your still shots for a lot of money. And I'm like, okay, like as long as it's not on the internet, right? He's like, no, people just buy your copy. And so I did it. We're going on towards month 5. He's like, well, since we're not getting anything, have you ever thought of pornography? And I'm like, no, man, like that's not me. You know, I just, it's kind of greasy in my opinion. And when I said it's kind of greasy, he kind of got offended. He said, well, it's not that at all. It's actually acting. And, you know, it's very professional, which I didn't mean it in a mean way. And I have total respect for all of the people in the industry, because it is hard work, it is real work, and it is not what you all think it is. It is, it's just not. It's not what you think it is. It is a hard work. And if you do it, I have complete respect to you, and I support you 100%. And so when he started talking about those things and how a lot of professional celebrities do it, and if you want to be in the industry, like it's a good way to meet people, and the producers are there and they work on other places. And so I was starting to get a mindset of like, okay, well, I mean, you never know, networking is key. And so I decided to say, hey, let's do it. So I went out, I did the shoot, and to be completely honest, I killed it. I did what I had to do because I'm a dog. I'm gonna go out there and I'm a performer, so I don't care how hard it is, which it was completely hard. It was not, 1, sexual, 2, enjoyable, and 3, it just made me feel very awkward, and this is not me, and so gross. And so I was told by the people at the company I worked for that I did a great job, you know, and they'd love to have me back, you know, anytime. So I went back to Florida to be with my manager, to let him know how it went. And I told him, hey man, it's really not me. And he said, okay, well, that's really no big deal, man. Like, you went out, you tried it, and you did your best, and I appreciate that. And so that's all I could ask for. And I'm very proud of you. I'm like, okay. And so we go out to a bar that night, and he had told me that prior that he's got a business where I can massage women, and I'm a hot guy, and I just have my shirt off and massage them, so I could do that when I'm down in Florida or in St. Louis. And so I was like, okay, cool, I could do that. And so we go out to drink that night. He knows the bartender. He says drinks are on me. So I have lots of drinks. I get freaking wasted, out of my mind. Like this time I'm actually drunk. Like this is the part where I'm like so drunk that like I lay back and you just like pass out, right? And so we're going back to the place. I'm very intoxicated, walking back, and we get into the hotel room. He's like, oh, I need to do the massage. And so I'm like, hey man, like, really? And he's like, yeah, it won't be that long. So I get down on the bed. He says professional, so I put a towel over my midsection, and so I lay back, starts to massage my shoulders and my legs, and before I could even register in my brain what is happening, he's touching my penis, sucking on my penis, and it's happened to me again. And in the moment, I'm not stopping, and I come to, and I finally just like, by the time I could realize like what's going on, I'm drunk, and I'm just like, no, but I don't tell him no because I don't know. I just feel like it's normal. not normal, but the normal from Noah. And I just try my best to keep it together, not to blow up on him. And I just tell him, hey man, this is it, man. We're not talking anymore. It's not cool. What happened? I was intoxicated, and so I cut ties with that man and porn, and it was over.